Howdy, everybody. Once again, coming to you from somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And what we're going to do in the middle of nowhere today is we're going to revisit our 100 yards with the Daisy 880. Thing is how it did not turn out as planned on the last video. So this is going to be our redemption video. So I am cheating this time. I'm just going to admit all that. Let's see here if we can find our downrange target. There it is, hiding. Sorry, guys. I'm not the best cameraman in the world, turns out. Our target down there hiding in the shadows. And what I did was pretty much double the size of the target. I just made it wider. And because I was bound determined to get hits out there, no matter what. And in doing this, I got one, and I figured out where it was going, and I just learned that I was shooting way too low last time. So, we're going to remedy that today. And I did. There's I got two shots on paper down there, and it took me 3 to get there. But they're there, and I have taped them up, so any new holes that we get on the target down range will be new. And yeah, I just I wasn't holding high enough. And so after I figured out where I was going, I tried to adjust the scope. Well, there ain't no more adjustment. I can't get any more out of that scope. And what I'm thinking right now is, since my reticles are my reticle and the little dots inside of it, well, they're triangles, they're not dots, but I'm almost positive those are 16-inch increments at 100 yards. And so now I am at, I think it's 5 times 16 inches. So what does that equal? I think we're up to 72 inches at that point, or something like that. It's maybe it's 68. It's either I'm not doing math right now. Y'all figure it out. But yeah, man, I just I wasn't holding high enough, and for some reason I got a really bad itch on my ankle right now. That's why I seem distracted. But anyways, let's take a look at this. My other part of cheating is that I am using a lead sled this time. Old dirty lead sled. I need to clean it though. And of course, our little Daisy 880 that we have here. My ass. My air-powered sniping system, as it has so been called, nicknamed, or transitioned into. And we are still gonna go with these Crosman copper magnums. They're heavier than the ones I'd ever done this with before, and that's why I never thought that I would lose. I never thought that I'd lose as much as I did just by going to something that weighs 2 grains more. So, well, it's like 2.5 or something grains more, maybe 3, but still, man, I mean, it's just 100 yards. And what I remember before is, I think the max that I think at 120 yards, I was holding 58 inches, which is almost 6 foot. Or, I mean, 5 foot, excuse me. It's almost 16 inches, so that's almost 5 foot. And I didn't think that I was going to have to get another foot above that in order to pull this off with these pellets, but they are heavier, and whatever, man, it is what it is. And but I hit the target, so let's try and hit the target again. That's what y'all are here for, and that's what I'm here to do. So let's get y'all chucked into the old tripod here. I can't really show you the target downrange. I mean, I know that sounds all fishy and everything, but it's in the shadow, and I can't zoom that far with this silly little camera, so that doesn't really work. So y'all get to look at my ugly mug. So, I was a little bit bummed when I tried to get more elevation out of the scope and couldn't. I did get more, but it wasn't worth it, so I set it back to 0 wherever it was to begin with. And just used more of the reticle. Make contact. Let's try this again, make sure that I ain't fibbing to y'all. And the other thing is that our wind conditions have not changed all that much. And I'm still getting hits where I could have got hits before if I'd have just launched them out there like a howitzer. Because that's kind of basically what it seems like I'm doing right now. I'm just launching stuff out there and hoping for the best. Let's launch one and see what happens. After I shoot, just listen for 2 seconds. Then you might hear the contact with the plywood. But it does take, it's almost a full 2 seconds to get it there. That's funny also. And I think that's funny. Really change anything? I don't need to change anything, but something changed. I got the sun right in my eye. It was over the shade earlier, but now it's directly in my eye. But I think I can still see to do this. Wow. Okay. I heard contact. Man. Well, it takes a long time for that pellet to get out there. There's one gone. Try for number 2. I'm not trying to go for the center of a target. I have a dot one more time up high on the target. And the first contact I made was about 20 inches low, so yep. I knew that this could happen because I have done it before. Man, the other night when it wouldn't happen, man, I was starting to doubt everything. And I think that's what happens when you try and rush something in. It's getting late. I gotta do it now. Everything will be fine. Well, man, a lot of times life just doesn't happen like that. Don't try and rush things. Gotta be calm, do everything, cool head, all the things. I did see the second shot. I did not see the first. So they are not in the same place. But I'm not expecting that at 100 yards. Okay. There's 3 in a row. And I'm going to do 2 more. We're going to abandon the lead sled. And let's see if we can do this for real. I am, of course, going to be using the rear support. Let's see what happens when we get a little human involved. Put some of the human equation back into it. Well, seems like the human equation has a lot to do with it. Because I did not hear it hit that time. Okay. Well, that time I did make contact. Now we'll see. I should have 4 holes over there in that paper. If you have dogs and you're gonna walk away from your shooting table, put your cap back on your pellets. I learned that the hard way. I have no idea why they were so interested. And I don't know who, so I can't blame anybody, so I couldn't get on anybody for doing it. Man, I had to pick up and clean about 50 pellets the other night because there wasn't any way that I was losing all of them. I wasn't that upset about it. but I didn't really need the extra little task. Yeah, if y'all got dogs, man, watch out. They'll get into it. Well, honestly, I just thought that it was cats that like to swipe everything off the edge of the table. Or the edge of the earth for all you flat earthers. I don't know if there's any actual flat earthers. We haven't had that discussion yet. Well, we're almost here. Man, this group's everywhere. But I got a good idea what's going on with it, because this group is not everywhere. But I'm going to guarantee you, let me back off a little. I've got 1, 2, 3. Man, I didn't bring my little tape measure. However, and that's 7 inches. And I am not going to cry about 7 inches. I can only almost bet that 1, 2, 3, we're off of the lead sled. And then when I got involved, I got one way down here on the bottom. So there you go, man. And look how centered they are. Man, I was excited about that. Man, that means this thing is, wow. I never would have thought that a Daisy 880, you know, man, when you had one as a kid or your first one, or man, no one was really worried about trying to shoot it at 100 yards, because you can't shoot that at 100 yards. Well, but yeah, man, when you get the human involved and stuff like that happens, well, that goes to say something about being able to use a lead sled, or, you know, man, having your rifle properly set up. Because if you watch some guys that shoot long distance for a living or for real, they got some gear. And their stuff is set up very, very nice. You know, I'm talking, you know, man, when you start getting out past 1,000 yards, and you start doing that ELR goodness and ULR, you got to have gear to do that. Well, to do it effectively. And yes, there's videos out there and guys are hitting 1,000 yards with a hunting rifle. And it can be done. Man, I thought I got lucky. I just seen this laying there in the dirt, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm just about to step on I thought I was about to step on an arrowhead because it was buried in there, but it ain't. Because they are in this area, supposedly. I haven't been shown the area, but I stopped antagonizing people about it. Hey, you gotta show me where it's at. Evidently, man, there's a mound somewhere on one of the boss's properties that must have been a place where they went and worked on their arrowheads often, because you find a bunch of them. I'm sure this far down south there was Indians 200 years ago. Well, probably. I mean, they're still here. They just don't have their tribes like they used to. So anyway, enough about that, man. Oh man, I'm excited. Y'all saw it happen. It happened for real. I'm glad it happened. If I sit down and do some math, I can figure out what actually has to happen. Like I said, there is no more can't do any more with the scope, so I'm gonna have to get a base that adds 20 MOA or whatever. Try and figure out how to do that. Because that's why I put that big scope on there, because I thought that I was going to get more than the scope that it was on before. It's kind of showing that, no, I didn't get a whole lot more, because the last time I ran out of scope at 120. I had to use the very, very bottom of the reticle. At least this time I still have perceivably inside the reticle. I've probably got 32 more inches that I can go, which next is 120. And I think that's fair. I may have to change locations in order to do that. I'm just going to have to do some mowing, and I can put my target inside the barn down there, because you'll see I'm under the carport here where it's nice and shady. Spoiled. And our target's right there. Well, man, beyond that target is that barn. And that another 20 yards puts me inside the barn, I think. So, I mean, it can be done, but, you know, once again, the barn is shaded. So, I mean, it may not be any worse than it was today because the target was in the shade. But my other option, though, I'm gonna walk over here and give you all a good shot. I was just driving out to the middle of one of these fields that's been recently plowed. So this one's already starting to turn green. Let's see. And which is going to make it rough. But man, on a freshly plowed field out there, I don't know if y'all can see anything because of the sun. Probably not. I can't see anything because of the glare. I mean, I got miles out there to shoot pellet guns. And if you get a nice place where there's nice dirt, you can see your splashes and you'll know where to make your corrections. But it doesn't matter. I am eventually going to run out of reticle. And I won't be able to see, I won't even be able to see splashes anymore, because, and that's my whole goal. I know some things are impossible, but I think that some things are achievable. And, you know, man, when I just get a 6-inch spread at 100 yards, man, I feel that it's doable at 200 if I can see the target. So I'm gonna have to, you know, we'll figure it out when we get there. Next, man, we'll just same setup, get out to 120 and see how many problems that poses. You know, because it's going to be learning. You know, getting out to 150 is probably going to require different gear. I'll probably be able to use the same scope, but I am going to have to figure out how to get some kind of base on there that allows me to you know, get more out of it instead of trying to rely on the scopes. Everybody runs out of scope, but most guys, that happens after 1,000 yards and not 100. So I know it's silly to think, yeah, this guy's going to get out to 200 yards, but yeah, you know, we'll be taking a Daisy 880. I feel good about it. I mean, look at that at 100. As soon as I found out what I was doing, it started happening. And so that's that. I mean, lead sled or not, the platform's capable. I may not be, but we're finding out that, you know, man, gun's a gun. They shoot stuff. And normally the stuff goes straight unless you just got the worst possible thing that you could have got. So, yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed that, man. We did it. We got 100 yards. So yeah, we're happy. I'm happy. Hell, I don't know. Anyways, guys, that's it. Wish me luck on getting to 120. And man, if y'all are digging this, like, share, subscribe, and hang out, because it's really gonna do more and get further. So I'll come spend some time. We love you. I'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good evening. Night, y'all.